Welcome back, my fellow explorers of the unknown. I'm Sam, and just like you, I'm drawn to the shadows, to the mysteries that lurk just beyond our understanding. Today, we journey deep into the heart of uncharted territories, to remote corners of the world where ancient traditions still hold sway. We're about to uncover the eerie and unsettling rituals of tribes untouched by modern society. Let's begin. Deep within the Amazon rainforest, shrouded in mist and echoing with unseen creatures, lies a village untouched by time, a community known simply as the Ashaninka. They live in harmony with nature, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the jungle. But beneath this tranquility lies a secret. The night chant. Imagine the oppressive humidity of the jungle night, the air thick with the scent of decaying leaves and damp earth. The moon, a sliver of silver in the sky, does little to pierce the darkness over the village. The Ashaninka gather in a circle around a flickering fire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. The shaman, his eyes burning with an eerie intensity, raises his hands to the sky. His voice, a low, guttural growl, breaks the silence, chanting words in a language long forgotten by the outside world. The villagers respond in unison, their voices rising and falling in a hypnotic rhythm. The chanting grows in intensity, the air vibrating with an unseen energy. The flames of the fire leap higher, casting grotesque shadows that dance and writhe on the faces of the villagers. The ground beneath their feet begins to tremble, as if the very earth itself is responding to their call. Unbeknownst to outsiders, the Ashaninka believe that the veil between our world and the spirit world is thinnest at midnight. And it is during this brief window that they perform the night chant, seeking guidance, protection, and power. But the spirits they summon are not benevolent entities. They are ancient and capricious beings, driven by their own inscrutable desires. And the price they demand for their favors can be steep. As the chanting reaches its crescendo, a palpable sense of dread descends upon the village. The air grows heavy, suffocating, making it difficult to breathe. The villagers, their faces contorted in a mixture of ecstasy and fear, continue their ritual, oblivious to the danger they have invoked. The ground shakes violently now, splitting open in places. From these fissures, a sickly yellow mist rises, swirling around the villagers like living creatures. The mist carries with it the whispers of the spirit world, whispers that promise power but also hint at a terrible price to be paid. The shaman, his eyes glowing with an unearthly light, throws a handful of herbs into the fire. The flames erupt in a blinding flash of white light, momentarily dispelling the darkness. When the light fades, the villagers are gone, vanished without a trace. High in the Andes Mountains, shrouded in mist and legend, lives the Quechua people. For centuries, they have endured the harsh realities of life at such a high altitude, their existence a testament to human resilience. But their survival has come at a cost. They live under the watchful eyes of the Apus, the mountain spirits, beings of immense power who demand respect and sacrifice. When the blood moon hangs heavy in the sky, staining the snow-capped peaks a crimson hue, the Quechua prepare for their most sacred and terrifying ritual, the blood moon sacrifice. It is a tradition passed down through generations, a pact made with the ancient ones to ensure their continued survival. As the blood moon casts its eerie glow upon the village, a sense of foreboding settles over the tribe. The air grows thin, making it difficult to breathe, as if the mountains themselves are closing in. The villagers gather in the shadow of Huascaran, the highest peak in the region, their faces grim, their eyes filled with a mixture of fear and reverence. The shaman, a wizened old woman with eyes as black as the night sky, prepares the altar. It is a simple affair, a flat stone upon which rests a ceremonial knife, a bowl carved from human bone, and a cage containing a young llama, its eyes wide with terror. The llama, pure white and untouched, represents the innocence the apis demand. The villagers, their faces illuminated by flickering torches, begin to chant in a low monotone, their voices echoing off the surrounding peaks. The sound is both haunting and hypnotic, a primal rhythm that speaks of ancient pacts and the terrible price of survival. The shaman, her voice rising above the chant, calls upon the apis, her words a mix of pleas and demands. The ground beneath their feet begins to tremble, a low rumble that seems to emanate from the heart of the mountain itself. The air grows colder, biting at exposed skin. The villagers huddle closer, their fear palpable. They know that the apis are listening, their presence felt in the very air they breathe. The shaman, her eyes now glowing with an eerie light, steps forward. With a swift, practiced movement, she slits the llama's throat, catching the blood in the bone bowl. The animal cries out, a pitiful sound that is quickly swallowed by the chanting of the villagers. The shaman raises the bowl high above her head, offering the blood to the apis. As the last drop of blood falls to the ground, a silence descends upon the village. A silence so profound it is almost deafening. The villagers hold their breath, their eyes fixed on the shaman. They wait, their fate hanging in the balance for a sign from the apis. Suddenly the ground lurches violently, throwing the villagers to their knees. A blood-curdling scream echoes across the mountains, a scream filled with such raw terror that it chills the blood. The shaman, her face illuminated by the blood moon, smiles grimly. The sacrifice has been accepted. In the heart of the Sahara Desert, where the sun beats down mercilessly and the wind whispers secrets of forgotten empires, exists a nomadic tribe known as the Tuareg. They are a proud and independent people, their lives dictated by the rhythms of the desert. But even the Tuareg, who fear little in the vast expanse of their domain, speak in hushed tones of the shadow dance, a ritual as ancient and unforgiving as the desert itself. As the sun begins its descent, casting long, eerie shadows across the dunes, the Tuareg prepare for their ritual. They gather around a roaring bonfire, the flames casting flickering light on their faces, faces etched with a mixture of anticipation and dread. The air crackles with an unspoken tension, a sense of foreboding that hangs heavy in the air. The shaman, his body adorned with intricate tattoos that tell the stories of his people, steps into the circle. He carries a small, leather-bound drum, its surface stretched taut over a frame of ancient bone. With a slow, deliberate rhythm, he begins to beat the drum, the sound reverberating through the air, a primal call that seems to awaken something deep within the desert itself. The dancers, their bodies draped in flowing robes, move into the circle. They sway and twirl, their movements fluid and graceful, their bodies casting long, distorted shadows that dance and writhe on the sand. As the drumming intensifies, so too does the dance, becoming faster, more frenzied. The shadows, no longer content to mimic the movements of the dancers, begin to take on a life of their own. They stretch and contort, twisting into grotesque shapes that defy the laws of nature. The air grows heavy, suffocating, as if the shadows are drawing the very life out of the air. The shaman, his eyes closed, his body swaying to the rhythm of the drum, chants in an unknown tongue. His voice, rough and guttural, seems to weave a spell, binding the shadows, bending them to his will. The dancers, caught in the grip of the ritual, are no longer in control of their own movements. They are puppets, their strings pulled by the shaman and the shadows he commands. The air crackles with energy, a palpable sense of dread settling over the gathering. The shadows, now massive and menacing, writhe and coil, their forms shifting and changing, their eyes glowing embers in the darkness, fixed on the terrified faces of the onlookers. Legend has it that the shadows are more than just illusions. They are malevolent entities, spirits of the desert, drawn to the energy of the ritual. They hunger for the life force of the living, and they will stop at nothing to satisfy their craving. The drumming reaches a fever pitch, the flames of the bonfire leaping high into the night sky, casting flickering shadows that dance and writhe like demons unleashed. The shaman, his face contorted in a mask of ecstasy and pain, continues to chant, his voice raw with power. Suddenly the drumming stops. The dancers collapse to the ground, their bodies racked with exhaustion. The shadows, momentarily deprived of the energy that sustains them, flicker and fade, their forms dissolving into the darkness. So, my fellow night owls, how's that chill running down your spine? The world is a tapestry of wonder and terror, woven with threads of the unknown. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of darkness, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow horror enthusiasts, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a descent into the abyss. Until next time, keep your lights on, your doors locked, and your mind open to the mysteries that lurk just beyond the veil.